Hi, my name is Chris Melnick, and I'm a realtor in Halifax, Nova Scotia. In this video, I'm going to explain why you shouldn't buy a condo. Now, even though I'm mostly against condos, which you'll soon hear about, I will acknowledge that there are a number of very valid reasons to buy and live in a condo. So first, I'll talk about why you should buy a condo. Number one, lifestyle. If you want to live in a place that you own, where you don't have to manage any exterior maintenance or repairs and just want to be able to lock the door and go traveling for a couple of months, the best option is a condo. All of those things are organized and done for you. You just pay for them. Number two, accessibility. By their nature, the vast majority of condos are on one level, and the buildings often have elevators, meaning if you have mobility issues, a condo is a great place to live. So for these reasons, condos make a lot of sense for elderly retired people who just want to travel. Number three, price. In a lot of markets like Vancouver, the cost of the cheapest townhome or detached house in an area versus the cheapest condo can be a multiple of 3 or 4 times. In some locations, a condo is all someone can afford, and at least building some equity is better than spending all that money on rent. So for a lot of people who want to get their foot in the door of the housing market or want some housing security when the only alternative is renting, then a condo makes a lot of sense. Now for the negatives. Number one, price. The housing market in Halifax is a lot different than most. Here, for the price of a good suburban condo, say $500,000, you can buy a nice suburban house. So my first point about price isn't too relevant here. The home is just better value. Number two, condo fees. Now, to their credit, these do include insurance, exterior maintenance and repairs of the building. They also often include water and heating. And depending on the size of the unit, the equivalent cost of heating and water could be $150 to $300 per month if you had to pay for that yourself. And if the building has amenities like a gym, pool, or common rooms, the condo fees pay for that too, although a lot of people don't actually use them in practice. The downside is that some even $400,000 condos can have condo fees of over $500 per month, and some very expensive condos have condo fees well over $1,000 per month. This can mean you're paying an extra few $100s per month for exterior maintenance and repairs, which can add up to thousands of dollars every year. And these fees are only going up. An equivalent relatively new and maintenance-free home, see my video on that topic, would not have maintenance and repair costs that high for the exterior of the home. Number three, little control over unexpected costs. Another challenge with condos is that even though condo corporations are supposed to budget for future repairs and replacements, there can be some very expensive unforeseen repairs needed that must be paid by each condo owner. In Vancouver, I know a number of cases where it was around $100,000 per condo owner just for a repair, which didn't increase the value of the condo whatsoever. It was just lost money. But if you owned an insured home built in the 1980s or later, following the other advice in my videos, there is no one repair that could possibly cost you that much. For that price, you could likely replace the shingles on the roof, replace all the windows, paint the whole interior, replace all the flooring, and do some cosmetic renovations in the kitchen and bathrooms. But with a condo, that money's just gone. Especially with bigger and taller condo buildings, the scale and scope of jobs is much bigger and complex, so fewer companies are able to bid on those jobs. For this reason, the cost can be a lot more. Think about how much more challenging it is to replace a window on a split-entry home versus a skyscraper. That costs money. Number four, the rules. Condos can have a lot of rules, which are there for everyone's mutual benefit, but can be a hindrance. These rules can have to do with renting out the unit, short-term rentals, smoking, pets, quiet time, and noise. If you don't abide by these rules, the condominium corporation can take action against you, and some people really don't like rules. Number 5, difficulty of renovations. If you want to do any renovations on a condo unit, it's just more challenging for the contractor and therefore more expensive. The contractor will need to somehow find parking, then bring all the tools and materials up and down the elevator, and it can be more challenging to handle disposing of old materials. Oftentimes, condo boards will have rules that renovations must be approved before they can begin, and sometimes you have to book elevators, and that can be a hassle in itself. You don't have any of these issues with a typical home. Number 6, limited appreciation. If you've seen my Fundamentals of Value video, you already know this part. But in short, condos are built on land that's already high density. And the probability that it will become more dense in the future and thus more valuable is fairly slim. Also, since condos are a form of shared ownership, your portion of the actual land is very small, and the land is primarily the part of the property that appreciates. Just look at this graph that charts the price difference between condos and homes in Vancouver. That's what's in store for condo owners in Halifax. In conclusion, for certain purposes, I do think condos are a great solution for some people. But for most people, especially those in Halifax, I say you should avoid condos and buy a typical home. And if you'd like help buying a typical home or a condo under those certain circumstances, feel free to contact me. My contact information is in the description. Goodbye.